direction. So this is in continuation with your revision sessions for class 6. Now coming to this chapter, we need to understand that depending upon whether an object emits its own light or it does not emit its own light, there are mainly two kinds of objects. One is luminous, another one is non-luminous. Luminous मतलब जिसमें से लाइट आती है, L से L. So हमने इसको ऐसे याद रखना है. और जिसमें से लाइट नहीं आती, N for no, N for नहीं, N for non-luminous. So वो सारे जो objects हैं, they are, for example, sun is there, star is there, they have their own light. But coming to the non-luminous ones, we know like table, chair, book and moon. They are the good examples of non-luminous objects. Now coming to the next is depending upon कि किस object में से कितनी light pass हो रही है, किस object में से हमको कितना दिखाई दे रहा है, हम objects को we are dividing them into three different categories. The first is transparent, then it is translucent and then the third is opaque. So transparent हम कैसे याद रखेंगे? That is जिसमें से light completely pass हो रही है और जिसमें से हमको पूरा दिखाई दे रहा है. Translucent कौन से हैं? जिसमें से light partially pass हो रही है और जिसमें से हमको partially दिखाई देता है. And then coming to the opaque, जिसमें से कोई light pass नहीं होती और जिसमें से हमको बिल्कुल भी दिखाई नहीं देता. So we need to remember it like this, that transparent objects are the objects through which light passes completely and we are able to see completely. Translucent objects are the objects through which light passes partially and we are able to see partially. And opaque objects are the objects through which light does not pass at all and we are not able to see anything or we see nothing. Now coming to the next is, we all know that the light travels in a straight line. We have even started some of the experiments earlier. Now if you burn a candle and you try to see this candle through a simple pipe or a straight pipe or a rubber tube, we will be able to see this candle burning. But in case we bend this pipe, then we are not able to see the candle which is burning. The reason is that the light travels in a straight line. And the moment that path is not straight, we will not be able to see anything. This phenomenon is known as rectilinear propagation of light. So continuing with the same phenomenon, we will understand it that this phenomenon also gives us another aspect, that is the shadow. Now how is the shadow formed? For example, there is a candle burning and I keep an opaque object, maybe a book, in the path of this light. I will not be able to see this candle burning. That is one. Another is that because of this opaque object, I will see that there is a dark portion and that dark area is known as the shadow. Just remember students that in order for a shadow to form, there are three main things that are important. The first is that there has to be a source of light. Second is there has to be an opaque object which is kept in the path of this light, and the third is the screen. So when these three are there, only then the shadow will be formed. Generally, when a shadow is formed, we get the idea of the object which has been kept, कि उसकी shape क्या है. Although the shadow is always dark in color, it is always black in color, but if it is suppose the opaque object is rectangular or square or a ball, we know that this is the object or this is the shape of the object which is coming in the path of light. But sometimes it also depends where that light is falling on that particular opaque object. For example, if we have a cylinder here and the light is falling from the top, I will get a circular shadow. And if the light is falling from this side, this is the kind of the shadow that I will get. So generally we do get an idea of the kind of the shape of this object, but sometimes it can be misleading, as in the case of the cylinder and where the light is falling on that cylinder. Now coming to the last topic of your chapter, that is a pinhole camera. We already know what is a pinhole camera. That is that we are taking two boxes. In one of the boxes we are making a small hole with the help of a pin, and we take another box which is just nearly the same size but little smaller so that it can easily slide in and out of the bigger box. And inside the smaller box we are just going to cut a window and put a translucent paper there, and then try to see from the open side which we are going to keep of both the boxes on the opposite side. Now trying to see from that, and we try to see the various trees and the objects or the buildings, we will see the objects clearly. But the image that will form will have this kind of the criteria, that it will be smaller in size, it will be inverted, means upside down, and it will be a real image because we are able to see it and it is coming on that screen which we have put in the pinhole camera in the form of the translucent sheet. Now remember students, a very simple way to remember, अगर वो पूछते हैं कि pinhole camera में किस तरह की image बनती है, so a very simple way to remember is, remember SIR, S-I-R. But in exam you're not going to write sir. You will definitely write the complete word for this. S for smaller, I for inverted, and R for real. So this is a kind of the image that is formed in your pinhole camera. So this completes your chapter, light, shadow and reflection. So students, stay tuned to my channel for the upcoming revision sessions. Thank you so much children. Have a good day.